Hey everyone, sorry about the disheveled appearance at the moment. It is incredibly hot here in Australia. We've had several just scorching hot days, and yes, I'm just not making an effort at the moment because any kind of makeup I put on, it falls off. And if you shower, you just get all sweaty again until you shower late at night again for the second time in the day. But I still wanted to make a video for you guys. I have yet to make a tag video, so I thought, why not? Let's do it. Let's do the tag. This is the Crazy Obsession book buying tag. It was created by ReadingWithJack, but I first saw it from Starian72 on her channel. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the questions. Do you have an obsession with buying books? Yes. I don't know what it is about buying books. I don't read as nearly as fast as I buy books. I think because there's just so many awesome stories out there. I've learned about all these new books from different YouTubers and on Goodreads and all that, and I just look it up on the book depository and I see that it's relatively cheap, and then I just buy it, and then before I know it, I have a lot of books arriving in the mail. When, where, and how often do you buy your books? Do you go with anyone else or just by yourself? Okay. When I buy my books? Whenever I get the urge. No. Right now I've kind of limited myself a little bit. I'm on a semi-book buying ban where I'm not allowed to buy a book until I've read 2 books. So just whenever I finish those 2 books, I might buy another one. Where do I buy my books? Normally on the book depository. I've found that is the best option for me. I think with Amazon, while the books are cheap, there is postage for overseas. So by the time I pay the postage and all that, the books are the same price as I would get off the book depository where postage is free. We don't have many bookstores here in my town anymore because most people are buying online these days. We do have one bookstore that sells new books. Oh no, 2 actually. I'm pretty sure. Probably more, just not with a big variety. I rarely go there. There is this one little second-hand bookstore in my town that I really do like. Except like you would pay $10 for a paperback that you could find for less brand new on the web. So I don't know how long proper bookstores are going to last. I also like op shops, which are thrift stores to you Americans, I'm pretty sure. You know, you can pick up a book for $1 or $2, and you never know what you're going to find, so that's just what I love. I love not knowing what I'm going to find when I go there, and it's all just so cheap and lovely, and How often? Probably, I don't know. I kind of limit myself to maybe 4 or 5 books per month, if that. Do I go with anyone else or just by myself? I generally shop online, but when I do go to bookstores, I might take my mum or someone who also likes to read, but for the most part, I am a solo book buyer. Next question. What kind of things attract you to books when browsing them? Is there a specific genre of books you automatically go and look at? I do like YA, young adult, so I'll probably head there first. I'm a big fan of dystopians. I'm a big fan of horror and supernatural and fantasy, and I'm getting more and more into contemporary thanks to John Green. But now I'm kind of expanding more into the adult. Let's face it, I'm a kid at heart. So I really do enjoy YA books, but I am branching off into more adult books again, and just hoping to expand my horizons pretty much. Do you prefer to buy new, used, or a mixture of both? I prefer to buy new, just because I love the smell of new books, but I do like the history behind old books. Like, I've got my mother's old copy of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and I love how books can just be passed down through generations. In the case of a used bookstore, like, they are just full of history, and I just love that. I love that. So I'm not incredibly picky. I do like new books. I like to, smell them and and know that I'm the first one reading them, but I also do like the history behind used books. How much are you willing to spend on books each month? I generally try and limit myself to about $50. If I go over that, I start to feel a bit guilty, unless the book is just completely worth it. Have you ever gone on any book buying bans? Well, I'm on one now, a semi one. I haven't completely isolated myself from buying books just yet, but as I said, I buy one book for every 2 books that I read, and so far that system's really working out for me, because I'm still giving into my urges, but it's making me more determined to sort of finish the current books I have, so I can buy more books. So I think I'm gonna stick with this system for a little while. I think. How long does it take you to get around to reading recently bought books? I'm pretty good at the moment. I mean, I've got a pile over there waiting for me. I'd say right now, the longest amount of time it takes for me before I get around to reading recently bought books is about a month. Unless, of course, I'm a horrible person who hasn't read The Lord of the Rings yet, and it's staring at me, and it has been staring at me for many years. But yes. Does that answer the question? I think. Next question. Do you prefer to buy a lot of shorter, cheaper books, or just a few longer, more expensive ones? I don't really have a preference whether I buy short, cheaper books versus longer, more expensive books, because I don't base what I read off of that. If I like the sound of a story, or I'm drawn to the premise, then I will pick it up, regardless of how long it is. Anything else to say about these awesome obsessions? How about us booktubers create a Bookholics Anonymous club? Because I've noticed there are a lot of book buying crazy fanatics out there, and I consider myself to be one of them. Maybe we need a bit of help. Nah, let's just keep buying books. It's fantastic. On my tagging, anyone who hasn't done the tag yet, go for it. This tag's been out for a while, so I can't be bothered going over who's actually done the tag and who hasn't. So whoever wants to do the tag, go for it. I will leave the questions in the doobly-doo. Anyway, I think that's about it, guys. Bye!